Dorian Yates, 1993. Jay Cutler, 2009. Now, as far as my channel is concerned, Dorian Yates is the supreme champion. He defeated the 99, Ronnie Coleman. But the 2009 Jay Cutler, he's never lost to Dorian Yates. He did, however, lose to Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath in a three-way matchup, but never on a one-on-one matchup. So he still has some availability as being the greatest version of all time, I suppose. And styles do make matchups, and we're gonna have this matchup today. And I've never had these two ever compared once on my channel ever. So this is a bit of a premiere, but I decided not to make this a premiere. The more you do that, then the less sizzle that you get out of a premiere. But anyway, front relaxed position. Very difficult to say. There's some good points about both physiques. I like the overall silhouette of Dorian Yates. Of course, Jay Cutler, very muscular as well. Let's have a look at the side relaxed. Fortunately, we have an entire symmetry round, but unfortunately, camera angle is a lot different here, and I believe it takes away the size of Jay Cutler's legs, but there is a definite hard, grainy look of Dorian Yates's legs that I don't think Jay is going to be able to combat against. But like I said, the camera angle taking a lot of size away. Turn around, boys, and let's see the back developments. Now, this is where Dorian is going to get a huge edge. Look at the hard, crisp Christmas tree on that lower back. On the contrary, Jay Cutler, he always struggled in that zone. But either way, guys, this is going to be a good comparison. I would give Dorian a slight edge in the symmetry round, but that's just a slight edge, so it's not an entire point. Let's head on in to the muscularity round, and I am frightened about this one because Dorian Yates actually looks way better as far as the physique is concerned. Jay Cutler's arms, of course, he has the bicep. Now, I said bicep because his biceps are very unsymmetrical. Look at his right arm. I don't know what to do, guys. You know me and my symmetry. I have to punish those who are not symmetrical. And furthermore, his right leg also appears to be smaller, does Jay Cutler's. But those soft old softballs of Dorian Yates, can I really give him a point in this pose? Or at least one of Jay Cutler's arms does look world class. What can I say? If it was the 2001 Jay Cutler, there'd be no problem. And there is a matchup on my fellow YouTuber buddy of mine, Mikey, from Mikey's. Oh, I was gonna say his old name. It's Mikey's Iron Rage now, but he was formerly Mikey from Mikey's Strength and Fitness. But either way, front double bicep, I'm going to ignore that for now. We'll go back to it if it's a tie. Front lat spread, this is easy for me to decide. Jay Cutler's good. He's filled out nice. He looks like a freak. Look at his teeth. He's actually has teeth. Dorian Yates does not. But either way, look at his hair. He's like a big troll doll. Large. But anyway, Dorian Yates, look at the lats. See how they wrap around like big tumors. That is a Dorian-esque front lat spread for sure. Dorian gets the first real point. Side chest. Now, Dorian actually doesn't look too bad. I don't like this one of Jay Cutler. Let's bring on the other one. Doesn't look as conditioned or as hard, but look at the overall silhouette and shape. I don't think he was ever going to catch Dorian in the conditioning and hardness anyway. But the shape, silhouette, enough, I think. Jay Cutler's conditioning doesn't suck by any stretch of the imagination. So he gets a point, does Jay Cutler. Side tricep. This is a definite Dorian Yates pose. He's big in all the right places in this pose. Hard to get the sizes correctly, to tell you the truth. Look at how wide Jay Cutler's waist is. 2001 would have been much more of a battle. And like I said, go check out Mikey's channel. He's almost to 1,000. Let's get him to 1,000, guys. Come on. But anyway, enough promoting other channels. You could subscribe to this one as well. Dorian Yates, one of the best side triceps of all time, has no trouble defeating the softer Jay Cutler here. This is unreal. And these are the back developments. Of course, we're beginning with a very bad shot for Jay Cutler. But speaking as a judge, he has a very, I don't know, very ugly Christmas tree. I guess it's more of a softwood tree. But it is striated and he is conditioned, so I'm not going to ding him for that. It's actually more conditioned than a lot of lower backs that I've seen, as well as the glutes. And I have to say, Jay Cutler, he came in leaner in 2009, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to disagree with me and comment and say, no, he was his biggest in 2009. Well, why does Jay Cutler say himself that he was actually a little bit leaner? He was in the low 250s in 2009. And Dorian Yates was a big dude himself. But the conditioning, I mean, nobody's as conditioned as Dorian Yates. Not only that, but the Christmas tree is perfectly symmetrical. It's just awesome. And look at the lats. But is it a point? I don't know. Rear lat spreads, and of course in 1993, this was not Dorian Yates' best lat spread at all. First of all, he's standing up straight, and it was hard to get the sizes correctly. I believe Jay Cutler, I made him a little bit too big, because he is crouching down. I should have made him shorter. But for goodness sakes, Jay Cutler looks decent, more than decent in this shot. I would almost wager to say that he is getting a point. Bring on another one for Dorian Yates. I always like using this one, had he had another lag in the shot. Unsymmetrical are his traps. I don't know. Jay Cutler, maybe a slight point. I hate handing out inconclusive after inconclusive. But it's hard to beat Dorian in any back shot. He's just so crisp. Rear double bicep. I have no trouble at all handing Jay Cutler a loss in this one. Dorian, much more effective in the rear double bi than he is in the rear lat. Even the legs and the glutes look much more conditioned. Keep in mind the lighting, nowhere near as good as Jay Cutler. Cutler, I'm not blind, he is winning in the lag department. As far as the hamstrings, quads, of course Dorian's not showing his quads, but he is winning in the hamstrings. Calves, Jay Cutler used to being the man winning in that department, but not against Dorian. No way. But Dorian wins, of course, guys. Have a look at the hard crispness of that back and the full low lat insertions, which, let's face it, Jay Cutler was better in his early years, but he was never this conditioned. So this might be his best version, depending on who's judging this one. Dorian Yates gets the back shot. Ab and thigh. Now, I could see some people giving this one to Jay due to the striated quad. But his right quad was unsymmetrical in this event. And if you didn't notice that, take a good look at all of the shots. His left leg was a lot bigger, you could see. But having said that, Dorian was never really winning in the leg department, except for the calves, of course. But look at Dorian's teardrop. Look at the teardrop. I don't know the exact technical term. I did at one time, and I could look it up and say, oh, it's that, but I forgot. But anyway, it's a teardrop, the big muscle covering up the knee. Dorian's is massive. But the ab department, it is no contest. Jay Cutler looks like he is a melting butter. Like Macho Man used to say, be all over you like melting butter. Ooh, yeah. Macho Man. Dig it. Without the Macho Man, I probably wouldn't be here now. Anyway, Jay Cutler loses one more pose. But he will not be losing this one. Most muscular. Everybody, I think, can beat Dorian in this shot. He's hard, he's big, but he's just not proportioned well. Even when he had a bicep on that arm before he tore it, it still looks very highly inserted. And you know me and my symmetry. I'm not even going to look at this one. Look at his traps. It was a little bit evident from a lot of the back shots. The rear double bi, I kind of let that one slide, the trap. But this one, I cannot. He's losing to Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler looks supreme in this anyway. As we tally these points up, it's plain for me to see, and anybody else that watched this comparison, that Dorian Yates is by far the better man. He was not only winning in the 8 mandatory shots, But he also took the Symmetry round slightly, in my opinion. And another point that I did not even award was the Christmas tree, which shows conditioning, and that is overall very important to me and should be to you as well. Condition, muscular size, definition, and probably most importantly, aesthetics. Anyway, guys, Dorian Yates or Jay Cutler, in my opinion, were not aesthetic. They won on hard graininess, conditioning, or in Jay Cutler's case, size, width, I guess, and completeness. But anyway, wasn't missing any muscles. Dorian Yates is the winner. 1993 Dorian Yates, probably the best version of any bodybuilder of all time. The doctor would have something to say about that. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this comparison. Hit thumbs up if you did. Can't wait to hear from you Dorian Yates haters and Jay Cutler lovers. Have a good one, guys.